Eduardo Savarine graduated Harvard with a BA. Despite not being a straight A student, he was invited by his roommate to become an investor and business partner in a startup for $15,000. Eduardo, an introverted person who found it challenging to interact with others, took the opportunity. Unfortunately, the partnership did not work out and Eduardo was fired. However, the startup continued to grow and eventually became Facebook, earning Eduardo $10 billion from his initial investment. This story illustrates the potential benefits of investing in the right place at the right time and being willing to take calculated risks. However, investing always involves a degree of uncertainty, and not every investment opportunity will yield a significant return. For instance, when hedge funds bet against GameStop in January 2021, many regular investors lost money, while a few managed to save their investments. Despite the risks, some investors have been able to achieve significant success over the long term. For instance, Peter Lynch was able to achieve an average return of 30% per year over 13 years while managing Fidelity Investments. This return was higher than the S&P 500 index, which tracks the performance of the 500 largest corporations in the United States. Lynch's success translated into a revenue of $18 million. In just 13 years, he was able to turn his investment into over $14 billion, making him the most successful investor in history. But what exactly were his investment strategies? And is it possible for anyone to follow in his footsteps and turn small investments into massive returns? These questions, along with many others, will be answered for today here at Investing Path. So, if you're ready to learn, give this video a thumbs up and hit the bell and subscribe button, and let's get started. Financial statement analysis, report reading, strategy comprehension, and a sound investment selection are all necessary steps in the investment process, but investing is frequently much simpler than many people think. In fact, it is generally difficult to persuade wealthy people to invest in hedge funds, since hedge funds want a huge percentage of profits despite providing only mediocre returns. In reality, you can know more about a firm than most hedge funds do. Hedge funds typically invest in firms that have a track record of being profitable for investors after researching and analyzing several stocks. On the other side, you just have to worry about the few businesses whose products you actually use. Before investing billions of dollars, Wall Street will only try the products of a select few companies. In the case of a city-based startup, you have an advantage in testing out their wares and learning about the company's potential before it becomes well known and attracts the attention of Wall Street. The only way to compete with corporations that have thousands of expert analysts working for them is to find companies before they become mainstream. This is especially true once the company has hit the press and Wall Street is undoubtedly watching intently. However, how does one come across such businesses? Although it seems improbable, the concept has real-world applications. It may be cars, taxes, social media, AI, coding, design, gaming, or anything else that piques your curiosity. You are definitely involved in the field somehow, or at least curious about it. Compared to Wall Street experts, you have a much better grasp of the state of that sector. As a designer or editor, you probably experiment with different programs all the time. They have a better shot of finding the next big thing than these multi-billion-dollar hedge funds. In 2010, Tesla was an excellent illustration of this. Tesla released the Roadster before electric vehicles were even a topic of conversation. In 2012, with a market valuation of only a few $billions and a stock price hovering around $2, it introduced the Model S. Financial experts finally acknowledged that EVs would eventually replace conventional vehicles, although it took a while. However, anyone with even a passing familiarity with electricity can see that electric vehicles are the wave of the future, and Tesla looks certain to be a leader in this field. In 2023, the company's value has increased to over $600 billion, and has even surpassed the $1 trillion mark. In 2021, early conventional investors earned substantial returns. Your goal should be to identify businesses with tenfold growth potential. We know that this may seem implausible, but it is possible. We believe that you should not put money into companies that are now receiving a lot of media attention. A company worthy of your time and effort to study its financial statements, quarterly reports, and plans must have significant expansion prospects. If it already exists, like Tesla or Facebook does now, then there's no use in trying to bring it to the market because the benefits have already been taken by early investors. Companies that haven't yet reached the size where Wall Street would value them are the ones you'll discover. You dive in, but you should be aware that investing is fraught with peril. If you accept this, the ups and downs of the stock market won't affect you. The market is typically affected by stories in the daily news. You shouldn't invest money you'll need to live on within the next 6 to 12 months in the stock market, as any bad news will cause the price to drop. When first getting into investing, many people make the mistake of concentrating on the market rather than the firm itself. Peter Lynch observes that the Mr. Market, as the market is known, changes its disposition daily. If bad news comes out, it will likely drop sharply. The stock market will surge after hearing positive news. However, companies' true to worth does not change. Businesses with healthy finances and a clear path for future expansion tend to outperform the market over the long term. Ignore the marketplace and concentrate on the firm instead. In order to avoid being overvalued, it is best to invest in companies that have unremarkable names, similar to a corporation that handles garbage. While the company won't change the world, investors should consider its solid base and the exponential growth it could achieve. Always looking for areas in which this firm excels over its rivals. Where do they stand out from the competition? What do they provide that their rivals either don't or would have to work for a very long time to acquire? They could have better technology and lower costs. Perhaps they have superior products. Totally irrelevant. When a business has a leg up on the competition, profits typically increase by a factor of 10 or more. When it comes to stocks, it is important to understand the difference between dividend-paying and non-dividend-paying stocks. While dividend-paying stocks may likely seem the better choice initially, it could be an indication that the company has reached its peak and may not have much room left to grow. On the other hand, non-dividend-paying companies may choose to reinvest their profits back into the business, which could lead to faster growth in the long run. This is why it is essential to focus on growth stocks that have the potential to grow exponentially. Before investing in any company, take the time to research and analyze it thoroughly. Write down all the reasons why you believe it is a good investment opportunity, and evaluate your decisions once you've invested your money. If your analysis proves to be correct, keep up the good work. If not, there's always room for improvement, and we can help. Remember, investing can be a powerful tool to help you achieve your financial goals, but it's essential to do it wisely. By following the tips outlined in this video and continuing to learn and grow your investment knowledge, you can start building wealth and securing your financial future. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to our channel for more informative content on investing and finance. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in our next one.